Two things. I'm petrified of being poor and fat. I don't want to be either of those. The things I can buy, like a Rolex on my arm, which I am wearing.
What I want to do with you is find that little boy inside and give him some resilience and tell him it's actually okay. It's like throwing £50 in the bin, and who would do that?
It's like throwing £50 in the bin, and who would do that?
In fact, it feels a bit silly.
In fact, it feels a bit silly.
Hey, I'm Sami, a poet who is spiritually inclined.
Hey, I'm Zoe and I study human happiness.
Hi, I'm Sam, ultra successful businessman and a spiritual skeptic.
And this is Spirit on the Rock!
The podcast where spirituality meets skepticism.
Each episode, we dive into new wellness or spiritual practices to see if they can help us live a little better, feel a little freer, or at least make sense of 21st century life.
And we're not here for the fluff. We are just super curious and we want to try and understand some of the therapeutic practices and holistic practices that are currently out there.
And today we're exploring something called emotional freedom technique, known as EFT.
Which is essentially just talking out loud and tapping at the same time.
Yeah, so picture acupuncture without the needles.
Yeah.
And it can help with trauma, confidence,
Imposter syndrome,
insecurities, blockages. And luckily for me, I know someone from AA who introduced me to Zoe Collins, who we're about to meet. And she's meant to be an EFT extraordinaire.
And today we are going to be talking to her about financial worries.
Ooh, how does that sound, Sam?
Worrying.
Well, essentially, if I've got this right, you tap, you say stuff out loud, and then something might change within your system and energy, which will help you deal with some problems.
What do you mean tap? Tap what?
Your body in certain places. I actually don't know.
She'll tell you. She's
going to tell us all about it.
There'll be different points on your body, I'm assuming, that you tap that will like alight a different energy.
Yeah, I'm well excited. I've wanted to do this for ages.
So you're taking me to a park
Yeah.
to start tapping away with a lady.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm doing today?
Yeah. I know this is very different to your stocks and shares, but today we're going to be a tap-in.
Okay.
For those who don't know, what's your relationship with finance?
Pretty good. I love money. I like getting money into the bank account, but I let the small stuff, really affect me. Especially if I have a bad business week, or I get parking fine, I bump my car, I have to pay a bill. I hate all that. It worries me and it annoys me. So is she going to be able to help with that?
Even if it's like pennies and pounds.
Pennies? No. Yeah. To the penny.
I've experienced that with you a few different times.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, I mean, like if I forget, like if I've got a discount code and at checkout, and then I just forget to put the discount code in, but I've just purchased it. Well, I didn't get my discount, and it could be like literally 10%, like £1.
I've experienced that with you loads of times. I remember something about a new pair of Nike leggings and a paddleboard, a paddle game with the hole.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I bought my wife a pair of Nike leggings, and then the next day she ripped a hole in them, like the next day, and it just upset me.
I was with him about 6 hours later. I was like, "What's up, man?" He was like, "There's leggings, man." And I was like, I couldn't believe that it was still bothering you. For anyone who doesn't know what we do here at Spirit on the Rocks, me and Zoe take Sam out to experience wellness activities and alternative therapies and see what a skeptic feels about the spiritual way of life. And we get to have fun along the way.
Yeah, because we're very open in the spiritual world, and we really believe in a lot of these practices. I'm not convinced about every single one of them necessarily.
Yeah.
However, that's why we've got Sam along, because we feel like...
Well, I'm not convinced about any of them.
Exactly.
This is what this whole thing's about.
That's what it's about. Because if we can convince you, then
maybe more people could be convinced.
We can convince anyone.
Maybe we'll change the world.
Maybe we'll change the world one podcast at a time.
Because we didn't want to just sit here and be like, by the way, like we think this is great, you should try this, you should try this. We wanted people to see the experience of it and have a skeptic experience it, so that actually to get their opinion.
Yeah. And to be completely frank, although I'm spiritually aware and I've been very into spirituality over the last few years in my recovery, I haven't actually practiced most of these therapies. Yeah. So they're all just kind of ideas that I've been intrigued in before. I guess I kind of want to work out with you is if they're worth it, if they're worth the money, if they're worth the time, and if they'll actually help people. Because if they are, then we can give people techniques to help in this weird and difficult day and age. And you're starting with you, ex-Love Islander and multi-millionaire Samuel Baird.
I'm the perfect specimen.
All right, should we get to it?
Let's get to it. Let's go.
So here we are on location in East London. I'm with Zoe, Mallet, Sam Baird, and our wonderful guest today, Zoe Collins. How you doing, Zoe?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're really lucky to have you here. Could you explain to the listeners or to anyone who doesn't know what EFT is?
Yeah, absolutely. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It is a tapping and talking therapy. So we talk about themes around whatever your current challenge is, and then we hold space for certain feelings or memories and simultaneously tap on meridian points on the body. It uses a similar style to acupuncture, but we don't use needles, and instead we are tapping on the acupressure points. Historically, it was always said to clear energy blocks that the body was holding on to in the meridian system, but there is more recent studies that show brain scan changes, so where the certain areas of the brain would light up when someone's having anxiety or fear or cravings. On the other side of EFT, the same brain scans would show reduced activity levels in those areas. So the research is really coming on for it. But yeah, it's been around for about 50 years.
Amazing, because here at Spirit of the Rocks, we're trying to work out what wellness practices and spirituality can do to help us in our daily life and try and convince our friend Sam that it's good. We saw on your website and doing some research that your manifesto is rich life shit, and this is why I thought you'd be great for Sam, because Sam, one of the things he is very good at getting and cares about a lot is money. So I'm wondering, for someone who isn't that spiritually inclined but is financially inclined, where do the two cross over and how can EFT help with that?
So first of all, well done for successfully getting the money, because not all of us can do it, and that is an achievement within itself. And I do think that sometimes it can be played down. Like, I do genuinely want to hold some space for that. We hear like money isn't everything, and it's almost like it kind of curbs what you've actually achieved. So let's not do that. Let's not put a dampener on the fact that you have actually achieved great things. And essentially, yes, exactly. And what I refer to when I say rich life shit is, of course, sometimes that is finances. I want to feel secure. Money helps me feel secure. I can pay, my rent. I can pay for a roof over my head. I can make sure that I have all the things, the provisions of care that I need to be, happy and healthy. And of course, I'm not going to pretend that money doesn't give me access to that in this world. And also, I go a step further in the sense that I'm not willing to trade my autonomy just for cash. I know that when I go for a walk, it helps my mental health, it helps my nervous system more than sitting in an office, working 9 to 5, then doing overtime. So rich life shit is really about defining what a rich life is to you when you kind of break it down into your actual 24-hour period.
By the way, can I just firstly say that this feels a little bit more in my realm of belief, because it feels like you're using a bit of science here and there. I can get on board with this a little bit easier. So that's a good start for me. In terms of what rich life shit is, I'll be honest, it isn't just about, for me, the things I can buy, like a Rolex on my arm, which I am wearing. But also, I just love the freedom. Like, me and my wife, if we want to go to Dubai tomorrow for 3 weeks, I actually can do that. And that really feels amazing. I feel invincible when I think about things like that. So I do really see when I'm working hard to make money and I've had a good week and I've hit targets, I think, I've just got the money to put into my freedom, which I value quite a lot.
What is a typical EFT session, and what will you be doing with Sam today?
Okay, so typically the client would come with a reason. There would be like a root cause, and which I believe that we have. Yeah. And depending on sort of how deep that goes, sessions can span over quite a few. But you can also do some really like intense transformation in a really short period of time as well. So what we do is we start with a conversation, we start exploring, and then I will literally just take it from there, and I will guide you through statements. So I'll say something and you'll say it back to me, and we'll be tapping while while we do that. So just follow kind of where I'm tapping and repeat things back to me. And then we're going to check back in with how true that feeling feels for you on the other side of it versus prior to tapping.
This episode is kind of because we were in Dubai and we were meant to get 20% off our meal and we forgot, and you didn't sleep all night even though you're a millionaire. Should we get started, gang?
Okay, so we'll start our EFT session now. A couple of things I picked up on while we were talking was around how you feel like you waste money. It's quite a strong word. And also that you feel invincible when you can exercise your freedom.
Yep.
I want you to talk to me a little bit about what comes up for you when you waste money. If you can give me an example of when you feel like money has been wasted, and how that felt like to you.
Well, where do I start? So many. And it's not just money. If you can help me with this one as well, also food. I hate it when people or I waste food in the household. I even get at my wife about it. I actually didn't finish my fillet steak last night, and I texted this morning and said, have you eaten that for breakfast? That's weird, isn't it? To check up if the food has been eaten that I almost wasted last night. So that's one thing. And then it can be small things that will bother me throughout the day that they don't need to. I have been successful over the last couple of years, which you kindly pointed out. You know, I got a £20 parking ticket last week, and it's pissed me off for a week. It doesn't matter. It really, in the grand scheme of things, that's a very small chunk of my my income. And even just trying to get deals. If I go to Starbucks and I get there and I realise that I've got a Starbucks voucher at home, I'll want to go back home and go get it so I can use that voucher. So I just get stressed out about where I can pick at things to save money, and I think I'm hard on myself because I understand everybody makes mistakes, but I think to myself, I shouldn't be making that mistake. I should know that by now, and I don't want it to bother me anymore because it's probably hold me back on a lot of things.
Thank you for sharing that. So immediately what I'm hearing is that this isn't a money issue, right? So when we can't go in and access this from a point of like rationalizing, oh, but Sam, you've got loads of money in your account. Why do you care? This isn't actually about money. This is about what I'm hearing is what you think that evidence shows about you and how you don't align with that.
Interesting.
You're kind of getting the parking ticket. You were saying that you're hard on yourself and I should know better by now. And the same with the deals, right? Like, I should know better. So it's like what I'm hearing is you literally taking that thing that's happened. It's life on life's terms, right? It happens to all of us. And you're attaching weight to it because that thing becomes evidence that you are something that you don't align with. First of all, does that feel true for you?
Yeah, I would say it's spot on when you say it's not about the money, because Samuel will be like, don't worry about it. Like, you literally just probably earn that back just right now. It's not about that. It's the principle that I made that mistake, or I didn't execute something in the right way. That's what it annoys me. So yeah, I would say that's spot on.
Has there been a time in the past when not executing something in the right way has led to consequences?
Yeah, loads of times. Not drastic consequences.
It's okay.
Realistically, I am very lucky, and I have realised that I've become quite a good problem solver. So if I make the mistake, by the end of the day, I've probably fixed it. I've figured out a way to kind of like fix it.
Yeah.
So I do think that's a good part of me. I'm not academic. I'm not good at a lot of things, but I do hold myself in a regard of being able to solve problems. So that's the only thing I can take from, making a mistake like a parking ticket, or, not getting that voucher, or I worded the deal in the wrong way and I lost the deal. I do normally fix it in the end, but it just takes me longer than usual to get over it.
If you remove the thing, so you remove the steak, the parking ticket, the deal, take it out of the equation, and you zero in on the feeling and the belief inside your body and your mind, that feeling, can you place a time when you felt like that? Like, it could be as young as childhood, it could be somewhere along the way. Like, how early in do you remember having that feeling?
I think it might be, come from like childhood. Well, I grew up in a bigger family than usual. I've got triplet sisters.
Okay.
And I do remember, like, at an early age that they would get quite a lot of attention. It's quite strange seeing triplets walk around. And like, my dad had to make a custom made pram and push it all around. people would stop them in the street and be like, how can we have a picture? Can we have a picture? And I really I didn't like that. I really wanted the attention. And then sort of off the back of that, I think every when I got attention, I really liked it. Mm-hmm. And then I started to kind of realize when I got, attention came from lots of different things. And one of the best things I got attention on is when I would do something good.
Yeah.
I would get a good grade, let's say, because I studied hard, or my parents started to give me attention because of that, or my dad's a businessman as well, by the way. Mm-hmm. So if I got a paper round, I'd come back, Dad, I got a paper round, I've just earned £6 this week. He'd be really proud of me, so that would make me feel good. So I'd get the attention from that. So maybe I started to relate attention and money together, potentially. Mm-hmm. Might have been sort of where it came from. The more money I got, or the feeling of that, the more I wanted to keep hold of it. I'm actually petrified of being poor.
Okay.
2 things. I'm petrified of being poor and fat. I don't want to be either of those. They're the top things.
That's valid.
That'd be the worst thing in the world for me, poor and fat. My life revolves around trying to not be fat and not be poor, I'd say.
Okay. Do you think that if you were poor and fat, that you would be not helped? People wouldn't give you the attention that you need? Would it make you feel helpless?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'd feel like I failed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're the 2 things that I want to look good.
Yeah.
God, this sounds awful, doesn't it? I want to look good and be rich.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people would make the mistake there of going in and rationalising with, what it means to be poor and what is fat and, beauty standards and blah, blah, blah. But the point is that this isn't about being poor or fat. This is about survival. And somewhere inside, you have a belief that if you were not achieving, and all you've done is attached money and fitness to achieving, if you're not achieving, you're going to be, cast out. And that belief, in my opinion, would have been planted quite young when your triplet sisters came along and you watched what happens when someone else gets the attention, you fall back. Triggers a survival instinct in a child because at that age, your parents are your sole caretakers. So if your parents and other grown-ups are putting the energy into one child or 3, that actually will trigger to a child a survival instinct. And then we grow up with that belief, and there'll be things along the way that reaffirmed the belief. So if you did come from, I don't know, do you have a rags to riches story? Did you come from sort of lower income into more money, or?
Yeah, not necessarily. My family are, blessed, and I'd say we're middle class. But it was a big family, and I wasn't given money necessarily. Mm-hmm. It was always I had to find my own way. My parents were quite healthy in that regard. My first business was a gym. My dad didn't give me money for that gym. He said, you need to work out how to get enough money. So yeah, it definitely wasn't a rags to riches. I got, in my opinion, quite lucky throughout my life as well. Went on a TV show which propelled a lot of opportunities for me, and it was sort of a chain reaction, and I guess hard work and seeking opportunities that kind of led to the success I've got today. But what you just said previously has made me feel really good about myself, to be honest. Not in terms of I always feel bad about the way I feel.
Okay.
I'm too self-centered, and I have even though I do feel that way, I feel bad about it. And you're kind of saying you don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay to kind of feel that way, but I just probably need to understand why. Yeah. And I guess I've never spoken about it, so.
Yeah, and look, you don't need to have a rags to riches story. It's just more of a good example of, where money can come into play, where people understand it better. But the bottom line is what I hear from you over and over is that in order to get your needs met, whatever those needs were, it boiled down to whether you succeeded and whether you went out and achieved something. And if you went out and achieved something and then you turned to your father and he was great job, that was where you got your sort of gratification and your needs met. Yeah, a big part of EFT and a big reason why I've gone down this route and why I love doing it is that I want to remove shame. And I also did some light studies around adverse childhood experiences. And one of the things that really stood out for me was that if you can fortify a child with resilience, actually their odds in life become so much better than if you don't. So you don't have to have come from adverse childhood experiences. But what I take from that is that when there is a belief that was created in childhood, what I want to do with you is find that little boy inside and give him some resilience and tell him it's actually okay now. If you miss a deal, it's okay because you're in charge. So you're now the father of your inner child. You're not relying on external people anymore. So if you, leave some of your steak or get a parking ticket or don't use the voucher in Starbucks, you're not in trouble, you're not in danger because you've got more money coming. You're going to look after yourself regardless and you take care of yourself regardless, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. So
I feel a bit emotional actually talking about this.
Powerful,
it's very weird.
stuff.
I don't think I've ever
too.
spoken about just myself in this sense.
Yeah.
It's normally about the, I guess, like the small details of like the business I've done or whatever, but never like behind the how I made that happen or like what made me the person I am today.
Yeah. So if we think about the three examples, so which feels stronger to you right now? So would it be the sisters getting more attention? Would it be the steak because it was more recent, the parking ticket, the Starbucks? Like which one of those, when I say it, kind of makes you feel a bit like...
The parking ticket.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's get into that.
Yeah, let's get into the parking ticket. So does the parking ticket make you feel like you should know better?
Yep.
That aligns with that?
Mm-hmm. Because I saw the tariff sign.
Yeah.
And I thought it said Monday to Saturday was, this amount of money. And then it said Sunday 9 till 6. And I thought it meant Sunday 9 till 6 was free. But when I reread it when I got back, it was saying, no, 9 till 6, you also have to pay. So I didn't read it correctly. That was my fault. Because I do pay my, I pay my tickets to park.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather spend £5 than get a £50 parking ticket,
Naturally,
obviously.
Yeah. Just be a businessman to know that makes sense.
Exactly, yeah. Right? So I did read it. It was incorrect. And when I got back and I saw the ticket, I was like, read the sign. I was ready to take the pictures, sent to the council saying, you're wrong. And then obviously I realised I was wrong. Yeah. And that was £50. And then I take the £50 and think, what could I have bought from that? Well, I drove to the city to get breakfast. My breakfast was £50. I've doubled my breakfast. My breakfast now cost me 2 times the amount everybody else paid in that place because of that mistake. And that annoys me. I don't want to pay double.
No, because then you're back in that place again where there's triplets and there's you.
Yeah.
Got you. Are you happy to tap with me?
Let's tap.
All right, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a setup statement. Even if it doesn't feel true for you, I want you to say it anyway. And then at the end, we'll talk about what came up for you. So if there's any points along the way you're like, oh, I didn't like saying that, or actually it opened up something for you, let's try get all the way through the sequence and then we'll talk about it. Yeah?
Okay, sounds good.
So we do 3 setup statements on the side of the hand, so the karate chop point. You guys feel free to join in with us.
How hard do you tap?
Not too hard. Just you'll kind of feel it, like medium pressure.
With your top 2 front fingers?
Yeah,
okay.
So if you want to start tapping. Okay. Even though I read the sign wrong.
Even though I read the sign wrong.
And I got a £50 fine.
And I got a £50 fine.
I accept and I love myself fully.
I accept and I love myself fully.
Even though I read the sign wrong.
Even though I read the sign wrong.
And I got a £50 fine.
And I got a £50 fine.
I accept and I love myself fully.
I accept and I love myself fully.
Even though I read the sign wrong.
Even though I read the sign wrong.
And I got a £50 fine.
And I got a £50 fine.
I accept and I love myself fully.
I accept and I love myself fully.
Okay, now if you want to tap on your eyebrow here. I got a £50 fine.
I got a £50 fine.
Now tap on the side of the eye. I should have known better.
I should have known better.
Under the eye. I read the sign and I got it wrong.
I read the sign and I got it wrong.
Under the nose, above the lip. I had to pay double the cost of my breakfast.
I had to pay double the price of my breakfast.
On the chin. That means that everybody in there paid less than me.
That means everybody in there paid less than me.
Tap on the collarbone. I should have known better.
I should have known better.
Now, if you tap under the armpit, about 4 inches below the armpit, I got a £50 fine and I should have known better.
I got a £50 fine and I should have known better.
And then finally, on the top of the head, I think about all the things I could have used that money for instead.
I think about all the things I could have used the money for instead.
Okay, will you take a big belly breath for me? And let it go. How did that feel?
It definitely reminded me of the ticket again, which was, a couple of weeks ago now. The rotation of thinking that it's silly to worry about those things. And I'm also like conscious, everybody, you guys, the camera crew, that you all think I'm really silly now. That would even cross my mind.
Not at all, man.
Not at all.
That's not the case. I've been getting quite emotional actually through this process. About you opening up to that stuff.
Yeah, so first of all, watching somebody be honest to that level is actually always really moving. And I think that, again, at a survival instinct level, we're afraid sometimes to show weakness because, we're supposed to be part of tribes, if we go back. So anything that we think might show weakness or that we might be cast out or whatever, we struggle to do. And then the belief systems that we put in place, we didn't put in place, that were formed as children, they then become the things that we run on to try and protect ourselves. And so I can speak for myself. Sami's just said, that he doesn't think you're silly. I'm pretty sure no one here, everyone good, no one thinks you're silly.
Shaking their head for the listeners.
Has everyone got a lot of love for Sam, actually?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even more so now. That was that beautiful moment of vulnerability. And look at Effie. She's saying, yes, there's a lot of love for you right now, man.
So
it makes me feel, I'm not like an emotional guy as well, by the way. But it has like given me like a little, I don't know, I just feel a bit, even just like sitting around, like you don't even know me. But you've like, I feel like I think you're amazing.
Thank
You've
you.
just like made me feel like okay.
That's really, really nice.
Even though it's something silly like but it's not about the parking ticket, right? It's about the mistake. It's about lots of things that the parking ticket represents, I guess.
Absolutely, this is the thing. So I don't ever want to, talk to you at a level of like, oh well, you don't need to feel like that, because like I said, it's not about the parking ticket. It's about making you feel seen and that you're safe. And like, what was happening, if you don't mind me saying, is that you realised early in that if you achieved things, you would get what you wanted from your dad. You took the baton from your dad and ran with it yourself when you became in charge of yourself, and you kept reiterating the same message to yourself that you need to show me that you're achieving in order for me to love you. And actually what we're doing here is by opening it up and talking about it and giving you space, that's actually loving you. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
When you were saying at the beginning, I accept and love myself fully, did that feel true? Was it quite nice? Have you ever said that to yourself before?
I've never said that to myself. I do like myself.
Good.
Like, I'm not someone that like hates them, but that as you can tell from things like parking tickets and whatnot, I definitely can be a bit hard on myself.
Yeah.
If I haven't lost enough, fat in the gym or something like that, I could be like, oh, I'm a loser. Like I can go down that road sometimes and worry too much about that. But yeah, no, I do think that has made me understand things a bit more.
Nice. Thanks so much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Well done.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Sam.
Zoe, before we love and leave you, because you're lovable and worthy, can you tell the listeners the best piece of advice you could potentially give them, spiritually, if possible?
Yeah.
And 2, where they can obviously find you, but also where you would advise someone if they're not near to you to look, they're wanting to get into EFT.
Absolutely. So I'll start with the second question first. So my website is zoecollins.co.uk and my Instagram is @zoecollins.eft. And the piece of advice that I'd love to leave you with is that your brain isn't capable of creating realities that it hasn't either seen before, or experienced before. So in that sense, you can only create a solution to a problem or an idealized outcome of situations that's happened in the past. So if you want to create a reality for yourself that you have never experienced, you want to come into more wealth than you've ever experienced, more happiness and what have you, you have to create compounding evidence that you are safe to fail, that you're safe to try new things, that you are going to eat even if you don't succeed, you're going to love yourself regardless. And it's in that you will start to open up the ability to do more and more and more. And then one day you'll just look up and look around you and be like, how on earth did I get here?
Love that. Right now is an example of that for me. So, and firstly, just being here and doing this podcast, but secondly, hearing Sam open up. It's a golden rare day for me. And it's been really, really beautiful.
Yeah, don't get used to it, buddy.
I love you, man. You're worthy and lovable.
Thank you.
That was more on my level. As soon as she said rich shit, or whatever, what was it?
Rich life shit.
Rich life shit. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's your kind of vibe. I knew that would get you going.
Do you think if that topic wasn't about finances, it was about something else, do you think you still would have gravitated towards it as much?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it actually kind of veered off, didn't it? We started talking about,
that's true.
My childhood and, the route of actually, it's not about a parking ticket or a scratched car or whatever. It was about other things, and that did get me thinking, I will say.
How would you explain EFT now to somebody who hasn't experienced it or hasn't heard of it before?
For me, it was actually just saying it out loud. That was the biggest thing that helped me. And then the tapping gave you the rhythm. So I can be annoyed at something, but it's just in my head. I'm not going to annoy other people about these problems. But the fact that she gave me a voice, I felt heard, I said it out loud. She allowed me not to feel silly. I think that's what kind of got through to me, is actually saying it out loud, which I'd never do. I'd never sit in a room and just say things out loud. That sounds bizarre to me. But I was put in a situation where that was the exercise. And there's a lot of power in saying things out loud.
Affirmations. What I found interesting when she said that your dad looked after you and you wanted to make him feel proud by doing good things and achieving and being successful, and he passed on the baton to you now that you're looking after yourself. And if you don't do things that make you feel proud, you reflect it as if it's still you're parenting your inner child. But the thing I found quite profound is that now that you've done enough things that have made you successful enough now, when those things happen and you feel that emotion come up, you can reflect and realize that you don't need to be angry at your inner child. You can be like, oh no, it's just one thing, but look at all the other stuff I've done.
Why do you guys think that you don't worry about getting a parking fine or bumping your car? Why does that not annoy you?
I don't have a car. But okay, so I use a Lime bike every day, and I guess I get fines on that sometimes, but I don't, I'm just like
That's a good question. Things do bother me, but I just let go of the control of it, because I feel like the longer I hold that stress, I'm just hurting myself. No one else is the fucking it's not going to change. My reality isn't going to change. My world isn't going to change. And if I carry around that, it's just anger I don't need to carry around. So I can just pretty quickly let go of it. But that's probably because I've made a lot of mistakes and I had to find a coping mechanism, because otherwise I would have just lived in a world of pain.
I don't really think of it like that. I think that I don't get maybe annoyed at that kind of stuff because I've been through a lot of trauma. And that compared to things that I've been through.
Maybe the same here.
That
point, yeah.
I'm just that's fine. I have bigger things to worry about and bigger demons to manage.
I hear that.
And if I get a parking fine or whatever, or a line bike fine, then I'm like...
whatever.
And also because I'm so clumsy, I break stuff, I read stuff wrong constantly, I get stuff wrong so much, and I used to get so annoyed at myself. And then I just got to a point where I was like, I just have to embrace the fact that I'm late, I'm clumsy, I do all these things, because if I keep making myself feel shit about it, then I'm just going to feel shit all the time. So I think that also comes into it. If I got a parking fine, I'd be like, oh, that's just because I'm a bit ditzy. And then
it is a lot of pressure being almost perfect, but it's just something that I have to kind of move with at the end of the day.
Do you think that after today you're going to feel more financially free? Are you going to notice it next time and go...
I think I'm going to be a bit more mindful when small things happen, and I'm going to remember the session I had with Zoe. Perhaps I'll even tap myself on the chin just to remind myself of that session and see how that goes. I'm open to trying it, and I think I will remember. I'll remember the fact that she understood what I was saying. I always have said to like my wife, I'm like, you think I'm an idiot for being like, for obsessing about this? And she's like, yeah, you're an idiot.
How do you think you're going to like relay that experience to your wife?
I'm going to say, you're really horrible the way you've been treating me. And you should be a bit more mindful.
Otherwise I'm going to tell Zoe.
Otherwise I'm going to tell Zoe, because she says I'm actually great.
Worthy of love.
And and I'm actually quite lovable. So,
I really, really love that you open-minded to it, that you see the value in it, and that you got something from it, man. That's amazing. That's so sick. What I found really interesting was about the meridian points that when you tap them, they actually release energy. I didn't know that. It's like acupuncture, but without, like she was saying. What did you guys think about the actual like tapping part of it? Did it feel weird to you? Did it feel natural?
Honestly, unnecessary.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't think I need
more
to do
about
that.
the
It
was more just about the talking.
I didn't need to tap. Like the talking was the biggest thing for me.
I found the tapping useful because my mind works at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I've only thought about it now when you asked that question, is that when I was doing that, I was concentrating on that rather than being like, oh, like, what am I going to do? I need to sort that problem out and I need to work out that. And like, oh, what am I going to have for my dinner? And oh, I'm a bit tired. Like I wasn't thinking that. I was just actually just concentrating on...
Could you not use a fidget spinner?
Maybe.
Yeah. Recently, EFT has been getting like a lot more popular, and doctors aren't using it as like frontline ways to help people, but they're using it as like secondary lines. So I think it's good of like, I think sometimes people have a lot of therapy and I think people can be over therapized. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Interesting.
But like sometimes people still need like some support. And I feel like actually EFT would be really good for somebody who's maybe had therapy and wants to try something a bit different.
My mum had cancer and I'm pretty sure that the NHS or some charity offered different types of therapy, including EFT afterwards.
Oh, really? Instead, as like the main...
Not as the main. There was different ones. I think there was yoga, EFT.
So that it was still part of like the holistic group.
Which I'm really intrigued about. I definitely would be up for trying it again. Anything to keep me mentally stable, really.
I feel like the tapping would be good for you because you're quite like high, like, you know what I mean? You're like high energy. I think like your mind works quite like mine, like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I feel like the tapping part is like...
I'm with Sam. I'm really interested in what that means, but I'm with Sam on like just the saying the stuff out loud. I do, like I said, mantra every evening and morning, and it's really transformed my life.
But I feel like, do you mean talking out loud with somebody who can like lead that? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I need someone to lead it for sure.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it on your own?
Nope.
Fair. We ask Sam every week if he can write a poem about his experience. None of us have heard it. I would love to hear your poem about
excited.
Zoe Collins and the emotional freedom technique.
All right, bear in mind I haven't had any professional training.
Hey.
you did offer me some, but
This is true, he didn't take it.
I didn't take it. I was like, I'm going to go in this raw
We
dog.
have taken you to one poetry night though.
Yeah, you came to a one poetry night.
Yeah, I had many beers that night. Right. Are we ready?
Yeah, ready.
Here it goes. Why am I not fine about my parking fine?
Nice.
Sweating the small stuff is something that has always been a battle in my life. A ticket, a scratched car, a deal gone wrong, even a spillage from my wife. Why am I not fine about my parking fine? Zoe is an expert in EFT, emotional freedom technique. We discussed my fine and my wasted time, tapping my neck, forehead, armpit, and cheek. Why am I not fine about my parking fine? I now feel heard. I'm not absurd. We all make mistakes. This will ease my mind. Next time I'll tap, I'll never look back because now I'm fine about my parking fine.
Oi! That was so good. That was really good.
Thanks.
That is so
That was
sick.
so good.
Ending it with now I'm fine about my pocket fine. Top fucking stuff, man.
All I need to just say that back if I get I just be like, now I'm fine about my parking fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I might just
Slate
get
clean.
more
Yeah.
on purpose.
Oh my god, yeah, we've like
Isn't
triggered
it
him
fun
the other
every time?
way.
Isn't it so fun every time I get a parking fine? It's such a good fun time.
Best day ever.
Yeah, best day
amazing.
ever.
Wicked.
Right, so that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
We
Thank
are going to
you.
be back in a couple of weeks with our next episode. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, which is
At @spiritontheRocks_. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, all of that.
yeah. And if you want to get in contact with us about anything to do with the show, then you can email us.
Speak soon. Speak soon. Woo!